Hi, I'm Erik Linask, coming to you from the Los Angeles Convention Center here on day one at IT Expo West. This is our 20th IT Expo, and I'm here with Arunas Chesonis, who's Chairman and CEO of Paetec. Welcome, Arunas.
Thanks, Erik.
Thanks for joining me. Like I said, this is our 20th show. We've been around for a little while. Paetec certainly has been around for a little while, too. So, you've seen this industry change. In a lot of ways, you've changed with it. What are some of the key changes that you're seeing take place now?
Well, it's interesting you ask. We started the company 11 years ago. We're primarily a TDM company, traditional CLEC, and it was very creative to mix voice and data on similar T1s side by side. And that was very next generation. And the world's changed so much in the last 10 years. When we look at what we sell right now, 3/4, 80% of all our new sales are MPLS VPNs or dynamic IP solutions, hosting solutions. I mean, we've become sort of real supporters of the offices of the CIOs out there as opposed to telecom managers. We're a totally different company from last decade.
But that's, that shouldn't be surprising to anybody listening to us. That's sort of, I think, if you when you stroll the exhibit hall here, go through some of the conference sessions, that's really that mirrors what the industry is doing.
Yeah, and that's what is one of the toughest things we do when we talk to the investment community on Wall Street. They don't really understand that everyone's got a hybrid network right now. You're in the middle of a 10-year shift from TDM networks, circuit switch based, to packet based. And people need to keep both networks working because their customers have both working. And it's very difficult to explain to folks that transition and how hard it could be and how challenging it could be. But I think the folks here at this conference are doing a pretty good job at it.
You think 10 years is all we're talking about for that?
I think another 5 to 7 years. I think the majority of the revenues will be coming on IP networks. Look, we still probably have some AT&T long-distance customers on some old networks after 25 years, but I think that'll be a much smaller percentage.
So what then happens with the old infrastructure?
Well, a lot of it you can reuse in different ways. I mean, what we found out is when we inherited all the central offices from a cloud, we're repurposing them into data centers and hosting centers because you need the same HVAC, you need the same generator backup, you need the same security systems. And what we're finding is it's been a real shift. When 10 years ago you put in a central office, you take 20,000 square feet and 90% would be for the switching equipment and only 10% would be for co-location. Now it's the opposite. I mean, the footprint is so small right now, the actual gear can be just 1,000 square feet and now you got a whole data center on your hands.
You mentioned the McLeod acquisition, and when we talk about some of the changes that we're seeing in the industry. So how does a company like yours keep pace with those changes, sort of keep a young face?
Great question. Probably the biggest thing we do is listen to our customers and our partners. So we have about 1,000 of our best clients that meet with us twice a year in local customer advisory boards in all the different cities that we operate in. So we talk to them about what's good, what's bad about our business. They give us advice on what we need to do. Probably 80 to 90% of all our new product introductions the last 3 years have come from market research with our clients out there in the field. And then we also have advisory boards for the indirect channel and all the other partners we have, and they tell us the same thing, what are their customers seeing? So if you just listen to the people, usually you hit it right most of the time.
Are there any new or recently launched initiatives that have come as a result of those conversations?
Well, one that we thought we were going to get into next year, but we decided to accelerate, is the whole blending of the equipment and the network services. So, we've got a manufactured product, an Allworks product line, matching it with Paetec network services and putting it in all sort of one package for customers. We're also accelerating some of the energy discussions we have. That's something we're going to talk about later today. And we're finding that more and more CIOs out there are getting pulled into energy purchasing decisions, and that's something that we think is going to be a trend the next 10 years.
How is that going to relate? It's got some tie-in to the telecom space, the IP communication space.
Sure.
What's that tie-in there?
Well, I mean, when you think about what CIOs have to worry about today, backup power, redundant sites, why are they interested in many cases to do hosting centers outside of their own locations? They just can't get the amps. They can't get the energy into the data centers and the office buildings they're in. It's much easier to outsource it to somebody. They also are being pulled more into energy efficiency projects. I just met with a CIO on one of the West Coast colleges. He just got dumped on his lap building a green data center, energy efficient. So you'll see all those conversations start popping up much more often.
Good. So you guys, you're talking about energy utilization and power. You guys seem to be a little bit ahead of the curve as far as what other providers are doing out there.
Well, I think you don't want to be a pioneer where you are way too far ahead. But I think if you plant the seeds now for some of these other programs, then 3, 4, 5 years from now, there'll be more substantial product lines. Right now, we're really just focused on finishing the integration and helping convert the rest of the TDM network to IP.
Good. We've been talking with Paetec's CEO and Chairman Arunas Chesonis here at IT Expo West in Los Angeles. If you don't get a chance to sit in on Arunas's keynote address shortly, it will be recorded, and you can listen to that keynote recorded on itexpo.com. Arunas, thank you very much, and thanks for joining us.
Great, thank you.